Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is episode 23. I think we went with Roadtrip as the title. We had a couple options. And last week, I think it was last week, unless we took a week off, last episode, we finished up with Foxglove Manor, The Misgivings. Aldern and his wife reunited and had a unpleasant discussion. His deceased wife was deceased once more, and Aldern barely survived that conflict. And then our heroes swept in and destroyed what was left. Jacinto figured out how to exorcise an evil spirit that had turned the house into a quasi-phylactery, along the lines of what would happen if someone performed an ascension ritual and became a lich. And everyone then scoured the rest of the house for valuables like proper adventurers and headed back to town.
We have so many credits. So many credits.
Also, Ava's with us tonight.
Woo! Finally, jazz hands.
Yay!
Jazz hands, jazz hands.
That's how we clap on Zoom.
Yeah. See, the teachers in the staff meeting that I was in today just sort of, clapped on camera, so you look like.
Oh, that's awful. So
That's terrible. I like
camera, huh?
jazz hands is much better.
Yeah. You ever heard clapping on camera? That's
Don't clap on mic. Don't do it.
Oh no, they weren't clapping on mic. That's what made it so funny was they were all just sort of like muted.
Like pretending to clap.
I don't know if that's worse or not. That seems worse.
It's so pretentious.
This week's icebreaker, courtesy of Fat Drunk Ninja, was how many siblings does your character have, and who's your parents' favorite? Tom suggests that this might be a repeat, but it's not been checked off on our list, so we're going to go with it.
I think we just talked about siblings a lot at the beginning of the show.
A little bit. Let's start with Jacinto.
Hi. Jacinto is hoping that when he opens up this window, it doesn't play. Oh, good. It's not playing sound. All right. Hi. That made no sense. Jacinto has a brother named Rakis. You saw him in episode 1 of Rise of the Star-Lords, played by Simon. And that is the only sibling that Jacinto has. It was a small family. I'm trying to think of who would be the actual favorite. They always told them that there was no favorite, obviously. But Jacinto thinks that he's the cuter of the two. So both, as a kid and now as young adults. So Jacinto likes to think that he's the favorite.
Nice. Ava?
Oh boy. Well, Ava didn't have any human siblings, but I guess you could consider like pretty much all of the young goblins when she was taken in were basically her siblings. And she sure wasn't the favorite. That's all she really knows.
The least favorite.
Yeah, especially at the end there.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, even still.
Finn.
So Finn actually has a semi-large family. So there's 4 kids in his family. He's one of the middle children. He's got a older brother and older sister, and then also a younger brother. And sister is probably the favorite, Felicity. Although Clint, his oldest brother, would be a close second, because after their father disappeared, Clint stepped up and kind of became like the man of the house and raised the other 3 siblings, which Finn's mother really appreciated. Finn did not do any of that stuff. He kind of, after his dad left, felt neglected and decided to run off and be a street kid. Because that is what well-adjusted people do.
I mean, it seemed to work out for him.
It's what I did, and I'm well-adjusted, so.
Family falling apart? Better leave.
Boo.
No, but, like, his mom definitely loved them all. Like, he was a lower middle class kid. decided to get into trouble. Turned out really good for him.
Yeah, being dead's great.
Because he died.
You're still walking.
Yeah, his mom actually does not know that he is undead. He has not reached out to her since he came back from being dead.
You previously mentioned that none of the rest of your family knows? Or
Yeah.
am I misremembering? Yeah.
Nope, I haven't told any of my family. They all still think I died.
So
Awesome.
rude.
Well, I mean, like, that's a weird
hold on.
conversation.
Yeah, you thought coming out was hard.
Yeah.
Mom, Dad, I'm dead. Undead, obviously.
I already a little
Raised you to be
estranged.
like this.
We didn't reason. I won't stand for this.
Because, I mean, he was estranged because he was out running around with a cult, and then he died, and then suddenly he's undead, and it's like, that's too much. I'm going to focus on cult busting.
So the cult killed me. Lahan, as some of you may recall, has 5 brothers, all of whom are older than her. Do you want me to run down the list? Because I can.
Yeah,
Do it.
Sure.
Before anyone can say anything, yes.
Okay. Oh no, I closed it.
Oh,
Oh no, please hold.
Clever ploy.
As Google loads, I didn't close it. It was. Never mind. I have too many tabs. Guilty. Too many tabs. Belvin is the oldest. He's very serious. He's running most of the of Valdemar logistics these days. As you know, Dad's sort of, kind of retired. He keeps saying he's actually going to retire and not doing it. You know. Oswin is an inventor, and Lahan's favorite sibling. Belvin's probably Dad's favorite. No, Lahan's the favorite. Lahan's definitely the favorite. Oswin taught
As Lahan's father, I can definitely agree with that statement.
Oswin taught Lahan everything she knows about engineering. Atticus, the next youngest one, is a scholar. He's working on his, PhD on Magnimar Station. No, he's only 3 years older. Probably not a PhD yet. Master's degree, higher education. And then Kimball and Sebastian, who are just a couple years older than Lahan, are the ones who convinced Father to buy the fish market, so they could be artisan fishmongers like weirdos.
I think we had it. They convinced him to.
It's a fishing fleet.
expand into
It's a
different
fishing
market.
fleet.
Yep.
Yes. He bought them a fishing fleet because they're busy being hipsters and, selling artisan fish stuff.
Sounds pretty cool to me.
Yeah, no, actually it does. I'm just, brothers. And they always try and scare her friends away, like they did with you guys. Yes, and Lahan is the favorite.
Didn't work.
Has all the things.
Slightly protected.
Just a bit. Although my sheet does say here that they get on well when the twins are not trying to scare her friends away. Because they are the troublemakers,
Yep.
Please.
All right. And I think we're going to come back in. We're going to come back into Sandpoint proper. You guys having just returned victoriously from the misgivings. And what would you do upon coming back to town?
I think the first place we go is probably the Rusty Dragon. Right, comrades?
Yeah.
Straight to the inn for Berthana to
we'll
feed
meet up.
us and make us feel better.
Good move, because as soon as you walk through the door, you see Ava sitting at one of the tables there.
Well, one thing before you step in, and I ask this question: the outside in that month prior to this murder investigation you got wrapped up in for the past couple of days, over that month, construction of your little apartment condos was finished on the top of the tower. Because I mentioned that prior to the break. that Amiko
Perfect.
actually, because she promised you housing, but she didn't, she still wanted to be able to take in guests. So she actually expanded the top of the tower to house you all.
Neat.
Excellent.
And what
That's
does
cool.
Ava look like now?
Oh, Jed, I think you know better than me. Besides, she does look a lot more pale. I do know that. She has probably the most notable thing is a shiny new, like almost obsidian color suit of armor. And that Dogeco that you all remember so fondly, now adorned with several sets of goblin ears.
Ooh.
Fondly, yes.
Was
Fondly
there
is the
anything I'm
word.
forgetting there, Jed? I feel like I might be forgetting something.
I think pick a couple of things, but I feel like maybe your pupils are starting to become slits,
Yeah,
and maybe
that's the one.
you got a couple like little indications of some scales, like artfully placed scales.
Yeah, something like that. If you're watching
Let me.
the other game, no, not a reptoid.
You sure?
They are a sort of iridescent purpley blue color. And she's got little tiny feathers mixed in her hair. You're not sure if they're decorative or not, but they're pink, fading to like a little bit of a purple.
Huh. Oh, it's Ava, I think.
Ava, you did a dodge roll out of the car. We were worried about you.
She just kind of looks up and nods. Good to see you're still alive.
Same to you.
Yeah, thanks for the help.
There were a lot of ghosts in that house.
How are you feeling, Ava?
And she kind of looks at you, and you can't really tell, but it looked like maybe she kind of like let out a grin for a slight second, and she says, "Fine, never felt better."
Right. Okay.
Looks back down to her book.
Well, should we sit down? Jacinto,
Yeah, right at the tail end, right when Jacinto asked that, I feel like Berthano probably walks up and just slides up beside Finn, gives him like a quick squeeze around the waist, and would you be joining us for dinner?
Of course.
All right.
Been a long day. Been looking forward to getting back here and seeing you. A little squeeze.
She probably a little bit of a blush and a smile, and would you like the usual? Is it today's special? Taking your order and trying to get you all seated.
Yeah, sure.
Sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
Another salad for you. And looks at Jacinto.
Yes, please. And one for our Tanya too.
She looks at him, and I know she's seen him since he's changed. Like, are those things getting bigger? And she's looking at the little bulges on the back, and they're swelling a little bit, and there's movement within.
Oh no. Jacinto looks at Artanya and says, I hadn't noticed that, but I think you might be right. Huh. I'll take a look at those later.
All right, and she just kind of, glides away, off to the kitchen.
Huh. Jacinto then turns to Artanya and starts poking at the little bulges.
Artanya will respond with happy little pseudopod wiggles and just happy music through your connection.
Aw. Well, that
Feels like
okay.
anticipation.
Jacinto, relatively satisfied that they weren't like ginger or sore or anything like that. Sits down.
Relatively uneventful evening. Did you guys call the sheriff and the mayor on your way back, or did you just come
Yeah.
straight here?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah, I think we did.
you teleconferenced. You did a briefing. There's no reason for us to involve that. So yeah, I'm going to say a relatively pleasant evening. If there's anything specific you want to do or talk about, feel free. Do you guys remember the clues that you found last session and the session before?
Yeah, there's stuff about the 7 siblings in Magnimar Station. I know Finn had good reason to maybe want to chase them down.
You
We
also
got a
found
key to
a set of keys. 2 keys.
Yes, 2 keys. 1 silver, 1
Crystal.
it's in the party.
One
Crystal,
steel,
thank you.
unusually long with a 3-bladed tang and a roaring lion around the top, and then the other one's like crystal with the foxglove heraldry on it, but it's not identical to the one that let you into the misgivings.
Right. So we're
Probably
Hang
for
on,
that-
do his other house.
The manor house that was mentioned in the note.
And he's supposed to be meeting somebody at the manor in a few days.
Yeah, they said something about meeting agents. The note said something about meeting agents there.
Well, we can pull that hand up out and just look at it once more, so we don't forget.
Yeah, let's do a refresh. And we want to keep lids on Foxglove being dead until after we do the meeting. And we're thinking about maybe doing a disguise or something.
Yes.
So the
Having
handout
somebody
is
pretend to be him.
Aldern. You've served us quite well. The delivery you harvested from the caverns far exceeds what I had hoped for. You may consider your debt to the siblings paid in full, yet I still have need of you. And when you awaken from your death, you should find your mind clear and able to understand this task more than in the state you lie in as I write this. You shall remember the workings of the Sahedron ritual, I trust. You seemed quite lucid at the time, but if you find after your rebirth that you have forgotten, return to your townhouse in Magnimar. My agents shall contact you there. No need for you to bother the siblings further. I will provide the list of proper victims for the Sahedron ritual in 2 days' time. Commit that list to memory and then destroy it. Before you begin your work... there was an awkward pause there. Destroy it before you begin your work. The ones I have selected must be marked before they die, otherwise they do my master no good, and the greed in their souls will go to waste. If others get in your way, though, you may do with them as you please. Eat them, savage them, or turn them into pawns. It matters not to me. Zanisha, Mistress of the Seven.
Would I have heard of Zanisha before?
No.
Okay.
But you reduce culture checks for cults, right? Maybe you know about this
Yeah,
cult.
and I was in that cult, too.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Zanisha is a recent enough thing
It's been a while.
that... And you've kind of been out of the loop a little bit. That's why I would say no, you would not know.
Nah, just curious. And I'll go about doing my culture checks and stuff later when we're doing our investigate.
Fair enough.
100%.
All right.
So yeah, you have that pointing you at the station itself and mentioning Foxglove Townhouse. You also, in Misgivings, found some cages that had, at the very end, after you had exorcised the spirit of Voral Foxglove, the now deceased remains of those infected rats. And the cages actually were stamped with a maker's mark that marked them as having been manufactured at Pug's Contraptions, I believe. Yep, Pug's Contraptions.
And that's in Magnimar, not Sandpoint, correct?
That's at the station, yes. Or at the very least, the locals don't find that establishment to be familiar.
Okay. I mean, we'll probably look it up on the info sphere and figure out where it's at. It's probably a space Yelp somewhere.
It's probably been updated
You're
somewhat
not-
recently.
You're not wrong.
We probably don't have space Yelp for anywhere other than Magnimar, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, you can find out that there is a listing for an establishment, especially now that you're in the town, and you can find its address very easily. You could go there. It's a bit far to make a live call, but it'd be transmission lag.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well,
Yeah, we should figure out what our plan is. It sounds like Magnimar is going to be the next stop for this investigation. If you guys are intending on following it up, I know I am.
well, we can't let you go
Oh,
by
yeah.
yourself.
Yeah, no. This could be, well, this has proven to be very dangerous already. And, you know, what would you do without me to patch you back up afterwards?
It definitely has been helpful having you around. It's much easier investigating as a team than it was investigating all by myself.
Things typically are. But, yeah, so...
You aren't worried about your father letting you go, Lahan?
Well, I mean, he gave me the heartbreaker, so I assume we can go.
Oh, fair enough.
Oh, that's right. Huh.
Yeah. Although
Good.
I think if we're gonna take it, I wanna get an upgrade put in before we go, just in case something goes wrong while I'm flying the ship. I want to make sure that I can still fix things, and I'm gonna put another computer in my head.
Another?
Yeah.
Huh. I didn't know you had a computer in your head. Maybe I actually did. Maybe Jacinto or I just...
She
Her
got, like, a little,
exocortex is
little
flavored
bullet thing on the
as
side, you
being
can
up
see it.
here.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Classic. Okay, then. Jacinto's
fine.
another stand, but just
Good,
in a different emphasis.
Like to take a day to rest up and maybe get patched up. I'm feeling kind of wimpy after that manner. I'm not sure if I'm just tired or if maybe one of the things that bit me might have had something gnarly. I did get bit by a lot of different things yesterday.
Yeah, you know, we should probably get you looked at. Lahan, could you maybe take a look at... You're good with medicine, right?
I am. Yeah. What? Tell me about your symptoms, Finn. 19. To identify Finn's symptoms.
Okay, so
I'm feeling weak and a little bit scatterbrained, for sure. I got strength drain and wisdom drain.
yeah, everybody's got some stat damage. And
that's right.
with that 19, Lahan, you identify one of the diseases. One of the diseases is ghoul fever. So even with that inoculation and Finn being undead, Finn rolled poor enough to get ghoul fever.
Woo!
The other one is a strain that looks to be very similar to ghoul fever, but it looks more virulent. So it's like a mutation on ghoul fever.
We've got some regular ghoul fever and some kind of advanced ghoul fever, Finn. We might have to take you back.
neither of
Was
those
it the
sound
House of
good.
Blue Stones where we got the inoculation? No, where did we get the inoculation stuff?
From the local physician.
Yeah.
She was a very pleasant lady. Can't remember her name, but her establishment doesn't have a name. It's just she's the local physician.
Okay.
She was. Yeah. I mean, I could find it if it's.
We're gonna
necessary.
have to
We can
take you
say
back to
local
Mrs.
physician.
Steves. Mrs. Stevenson.
Mrs. Steves.
Mrs. Space Steves, actually.
Space
Mrs.
Steves.
Space
Yeah, hopefully she can do
Stevenson.
something. That inoculation didn't seem to do much. Yeah,
You
still
won't
got
go
it.
poor.
Dr.
Don't blame
Space
the
Stevenson.
inoculation.
Well, I can still blame the poor inoculation on it. I've got low wisdom right now. My wisdom was already low. Don't judge me.
I don't think it was the inoculation. They don't, they're not 100% effective.
Fair. I think that would...
So you can attempt to treat disease, And that will give a +4?
That is a good
yeah, that gives
question.
And I think the DC
it's a
is the
+4 bonus
disease
to the. Yes. Yep, and then they get a +4 bonus on their next check to save against that disease. So you'll need to do it twice, I suppose, for each disease.
Yeah. All right, let's give it a go. That's a 25 for the first disease.
Can you treat disease on the second one? You don't know exactly what it is.
I don't know, can I?
I mean, yeah, you can. I'm not going to say no
Okay.
to that.
My other question is, are the antibiotics still helpful against the disease?
Yeah, there were a
It's
number
a
of...
daily check
Well,
too,
you're-
so I don't get
I'm
another
having
one
you
until tomorrow.
I'm having you roll to treat disease now. Technically, the save wouldn't be occurring until tomorrow, and I think that the antibiotics only last 24 hours.
No, they lasted.
Really?
I gotta look it up, but we got them before we went to Habe's, right? So they lasted us a long
Yeah.
time.
Okay, well, let's check on the duration on the antibiotics, and we'll find out.
Okay.
Number
Yes.
of days equal to 2 times the antibiotics tier. We probably got. Looking at these prices, we probably got tier 1. So, yeah, the antibiotics are probably worn off,
It's.
unless this is the second day.
I think Habe's. You dealt with Habe after you went back. You rested overnight, then you went to the Misgivings. So tomorrow would be day 3 post having taken the antibiotics.
So it's not gonna count for this one.
That's all right.
You'll still have a +4. And if
Yeah.
we want to fast forward to the next day for those saves to happen,
I mean, I actually have decent fortitude, which is the funny thing.
Yeah. I think you rolled awful is what it is. So there's a very
Yeah, I get
good
a lot of,
chance you're fine.
I get a lot of crit fails. I've actually already rolled 2 today when I was testing things out.
Man.
Let's get 2 fortitude saves real quick. If you haven't added the +4,
I haven't added anything.
Okay, so yeah, you made that first one. Your ghoul fever stays at latent.
Hi. Sorry, there's a dog trying to climb on me. Oh, everybody went quiet.
If you
Yeah.
that's because
Sorry,
It was an actual quiet.
Trudy was making ice noises.
Okay.
So the
I was
18
scared.
definitely makes it. Oh, and I didn't see the 27. So yes, super makes it. They both stay latent. You feel a little bit under the weather, but it does not appear to be advancing. And
Okay,
you
but I
have-
don't feel better. I don't feel worse,
You
but I
don't
don't feel
feel-
better.
You need 3 consecutive saves to shake these diseases.
Oh, well, I
You
don't
have
know
to-
that.
Goodness.
I just...
Well, mechanically, you Lapis know
Okay.
should know this. It's on the sheet, and I have a box there for you to for us to track it. I've filled that in. You have 1 successful save out of 3, so you're on the mend, and I feel
Nice.
confident. Unless you roll abysmally, you'll recover.
all right. Well, I know something else that Jacinto wants to do in town before we go. Since inspired by Ava being back.
You need to hear that bad? Sorry, I gotta let my dog out.
So Jacinto wants to visit the good father down at the church.
Father Xantus,
Yes. Father's
Good old
Xantus.
Father Xantus, yes. Because we had spoken. Yeah, Jacinto will go up to him and say, we had spoken on removing curses.
Yes.
Where were
I've
we on
put
that
out
again?
feelers. I've put out feelers. I've requested that someone more advanced, more in tune with the mysteries, come to help remove said curse, but they're still a ways out. It took a while to find someone, but they're traveling this way now. A number of weeks.
Oh.
Oh, weeks. Okay. Well,
They're not
Father,
sure.
I mean, you know how drift travel is. There's variance.
yeah, for sure.
Worst case scenario, a couple of weeks.
Okay. Well, that's I. No matter what, I greatly appreciate you you reaching out to whomever you can. My friend is worse off than the last time we spoke, so I just wanted to check. But thank you, Father Xantos.
Suggest you keep a close eye on them. Just be there in case they need the help.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Jacinto just sort of like shuffles out in his little robes. And yeah. And then Jacinto picks up a spell gem or two. I should state for the record, I'm picking up 1 spell gem of Mystic Cure 2. Just because, we got the money. That's a good spell to have in your back pocket.
Yeah.
Yep.
100%.
Yeah.
So Father Xantos, spell gem. We made our save for Finn. Does Ava want to do
We all went
anything? 'Cause I
shopping.
know some shopping. Does Ava want to do anything? Because I know Lahan wants to do some stuff with the Heartbreaker.
God, yeah, no, actually, if we want to retcon this just a little tiny bit, Jacinto, as you're leaving the temple, you see Ava just kind of standing there in the shadows, watching you across the street.
Jacinto looks unsettled by this. in deeply unsettled. But we'll pretend that he didn't see Ava and continues on his way.
That predatory look.
Why are you like the way you are?
I like damaged characters. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh God, you really do.
All right. Lahan.
I mean, mostly just resting up and
You're muted.
getting my. Oh, I am. I am indeed muted. You're correct.
Hey, now we can hear you.
Mostly just resting up and getting a shiny new accelerated data jack installed in my brain. Probably having Oswin, help me. So I can't install things in my own brain.
Well, I'm picturing it, especially since you already have the core data jack. I'm picturing it more along the lines of sort of a nanite package that you sort of socket in, and then it expands and upgrades the pre-existing hardware. Probably it's probably not that invasive or bloody.
Well, that's no
These things are
fun.
built with UPBs, and nanites can just do stuff if they have the raw material.
Sure, but I build my exocortex. You can't just buy an exocortex off a shelf.
Yeah, you probably either had him or the actual physician help with that, but I imagine expanding the data jack is a little bit simpler once.
I didn't have a data jack. I had an exocortex.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I'm completely wrong. They cut your head open and threw stuff in there.
Yeah.
Amazing what they can do with medical science these days. I hear they put a man's heart in a pig's heart in a man.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah, doing that, grabbing a new ability crystal. We probably need at least a week of rest with all this heckin' drain and everything else we have.
I mean, how long
I'm not
until...
pushing for you to leave the next day. That's what it sounded like to me. If you guys want to take X number of days.
Wait,
we
how much
can
time do we
make-
have according to the note?
It didn't give an amount of time. It just said if he didn't
So-
remember.
Yeah.
Be best if we got over there semi-quickly. We don't want news of him being not around to get them before we can intercept things. Finn would definitely push for us to take a couple days, but not a week.
Well,
So you wanna go back out
also
with
have a
Drain?
certain amount of-
Yeah,
you
I'll
also
go
have a
back out with
certain amount
Drain.
of pull.
I already took it all off my
Sure.
sheet.
Okay, fine. Sorry.
Just a second. You also have a certain amount of pull with the sheriff and the mayor. You could say, hey, we need to investigate further. Could you not pass Aldern's death to the station and let word get out?
Yeah, fair. I
They
just I
would
worry.
probably
Yeah.
be willing to do that for you.
I think my highest
Yeah.
one was
Yeah.
2.
No, we can wait and get it
So
all
I
dealt
guess
with.
it could be just 2 days. If
And Jacinto also has a spell gem of Lesser Restoration, which removes a D4 of condition as well, of drain as well. Which I could
We
burn.
could just stay for 2 days. Well, then you're only going to be able to do one of them, so the other one's still going to be down by 2.
That's true.
So,
All right, we stay for 2 days. Done. Executive decision.
Okay.
Stay for 2 days. So the first day would have been that first set of saving throws. Let's get 2 more fortitude saves from Finn.
All right.
This also gives Finn a head start on his diseases.
Yes.
Yeah, like I'm not against staying for a little bit. I just don't want to stay for a whole week. I feel like that's a long time.
Oh yeah.
And Finn would be worried about the cult getting away.
Where's Lahan on the second day?
I mean, the first day is probably just, like, sleep all day, with, all that ability drain and being exhausted, on top of it.
Because I feel like it, that critical success on that second fortitude save is going to wipe out the mystery disease.
Nice.
Nice. Woo!
Heck yeah.
You just have such a strong constitution, Finn.
I actually really do. Con is my highest score. I just crit failed. I actually couldn't fail that check unless I crit failed, is how I got them.
That's hilarious.
Finn's a beefy boy.
Beefy boy.
Soul beef. Much wow.
So
I gotta
why
pick-
did you
I mean-
ask where Lahan was?
I'm just
Ava
curious.
missed out on the lovely pictures of Beefy Boy being much wow.
Oh dear.
Alduin drew some erotica. Finn, he missed out on it.
God.
So yeah, what was Ava doing?
Yeah. So anyway.
You
Lahan
jumped
deleted
out
it
of the Jeep
permanently.
and disappeared into the bushes. Maybe Ava was struck by a sudden urge that she can't explain, like a bestial pull from her Dashko, and she went off and
Sorry, I misspoke. No, I know where Ava's been. I was wondering where Lahan was on the second day here of rest.
oh okay, sorry.
Did Lahan leave the house at all? Is what I'm wondering.
Yeah, she went and got a computer put in her brain.
Cool. As you're leaving the hospital, you notice Ava in the shadows watching you.
Waves. Hi, Ava!
She waves back, broodingly, and then turns around and leaves.
I'm getting Batman the animated series vibes. Like I'm just picturing you be like she fades into the shadows.
Doo-doo-doo-doo.
She dramatically
The night.
stops.
Really had to fight the urge to just be like she pulls her scarf up more just to pretend to hide.
So, if I still
but-
have cool fever, does that mean I still have a -2 to my dex because it's the physical one?
If
my strength, I
you're
mean-
latent.
You're still at the latent phase.
Okay, so I don't have a negative?
You don't.
That would have been your
a negative-
drain. Or
Okay.
your damage.
Well, I wasn't sure where my drains was coming from, so I wanted to make sure I didn't delete them on accident.
Any of your ability score adjustments, that was just damage that you took from various fonts and other things.
Okay.
Latency does not do anything to you. You're just carrying the disease. If you were to fail again, you would progress to weakened and you would become sickened and fatigued.
Okay.
Lapis, I have a question for Finn. Actually, did he end up getting those better legs that we were talking about?
Depends on how much they cost. I have
You have the price for it.
2,822 left.
They're only
I'd be into getting
1900.
them. Don't we have to wait till Magnimar to find those, though?
He was talking about the super advanced legs. If you just want the advanced legs, you can afford them.
Yeah,
They're the
And-
ones where they only replace your kneecaps and joints and stuff, not the whole.
and a few tendons and stuff.
Yeah.
It's minimally invasive,
Very
and it gives you a
minimally-
plus
Yep.
10 plus 10 bonus to your land speeds, which is
What's it called?
nice.
Great.
Speed
Speed
suspension,
suspension.
minimal.
I have a question for you, my friends. With my new ability
Yeah.
crystal, I need 2 more languages now.
Oh
Wait,
boy.
Wait. I have a random roller here. So 102 and 25.
Jet, we wanted them to be useful languages.
I
You
need
never said
languages,
that.
not races.
Well, yeah, but they each have their own. they each
Yeah,
have their
I'm
own
gonna get
language.
those. 100% gonna get
That
those.
is neither of those
I don't
things
know.
are on the
Whatever you
languages
want.
list.
Do you have New Thessalonian?
I do.
You have Goblin.
Yes.
Everybody should have Goblin.
Yusoki. Everyone should have Yusoki.
I do.
I mean, I've actually got one week in culture that I never did a whatchamacallit for.
A language?
A language. Yeah.
You could take Abyssal. You could take Aklo. Those are, we're hunting evil
Yeah,
rituals and stuff.
yeah.
Those are,
I'll do
ritual
Abyssal and
languages.
Aklo. That's a good plan.
That's what the Jacinto has.
What the fuck?
Prunk. You meant Prunk.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll
I
make
saw
one of
the
them.
Screen just went insane.
It's weird. All right.
So you took 2 days. You noticed that Ava was creeping on people.
I'm gonna get those leg upgrades.
You guys just had some recreational surgery. It's fine.
It's probably fine.
It wasn't recreational.
like
It was to
Amiibo.
make sure if something
With technology
breaks.
and
This is giving me Repo vibes.
I mean, with technology
I paid for it.
as it is, and body modification is extensive and easy to do as it is, it makes total sense. Like, if someone's like, I want to change something, they go to the doctor, spend a couple hundred credits or a couple thousand credits, and they come out looking like they want.
It was an 8-hour surgery.
Yeah, it's hours per level of the augmentation. Yeah. So Finn's, I just like to picture Finn like laying on a table and both of his legs are like, behind a sheet and stuff, and he's like, I can't. And then he like looks over at Lahan, and Lahan's head is covered by like curtains and stuff, and they're like
Curtain across the
yeah.
because they have like they just have fields like sterile
Containment
fields.
fields.
So they don't need to like truly isolate people.
Yeah.
Gross.
So
And Lahan's looking over, and Lahan's like, and Finn's legs are just like off. They're working on him on a separate bench or something, just because it's easier. They can reconnect them no problem.
Goodness gracious.
You're like boring out like the hip socket.
Yeah. So yeah, and
Um,
then the third day.
The third day, you go to the old, disused. Wow, yeah, I'm drawing a blank on a word.
Shipyard.
Shuttle bay, where the Heartbreaker was housed for many years. You thought it was just used for old storage. When your dad gave it to you, he brought you in here, and he had these mechanical arms lift like a giant dust cloth off of the vehicle. And I know you had some work done on it. I don't know how much, but this is what it kind of looks like now. And no, it's not crashing. When you fire the vehicle up, there are holographic flames and skulls that pop up on it because your dad was cool when he was a kid.
That's the word for it.
Style.
Yeah, I mean, we've had a little bit of work done, but, mostly just to fix it up a little bit.
Ava still hidden in the shadows, just, well, that's a bit garish.
Ah!
This is my equivalent to like an 80s panel van with the wizard riding a unicorn shooting lightning out of their guitar. I couldn't quite get that detailed with my Photoshop skills.
Cool. Well, Jacinto says, oh, well, that's nice. It looks fast.
It's pretty fast.
Have you ever flown a ship before, Lahan?
Yeah. Plenty of time. Well, not really that far, usually. But, I've been on a couple of milk runs to Magnimar Station and back.
How about either of you two? Either of you two ever flown before?
Oh yeah, I came to town in a little spaceship. Rakus, admittedly, was our pilot. But I've been on a spaceship before.
And I've been training since Dad passed down the Heartbreaker in the simulator.
Okay.
And I don't know if any of you need this,
Here.
but I made a Excel spreadsheet that has all of the rolls. It auto-calculates all of the appropriate DCs, and it should have pretty much all the information. And I tried to update it and add all the errata in. So that should hopefully streamline this process slightly.
I would love that.
is few and far between. I just posted a link in the Star-Lord's chat.
But why, oh, why are you sharing Starship combat information with us, Jet?
Because you're going into space, obviously there's going to
Because
be
knowledge
Starship
is power.
combat. I know that Rise of the Rune Lords didn't have wagon combat or anything like that, but there were random encounters, I'm sure, depending on the GM. And I wanted to add a little bit more sci-fi into the travel Magnimar Station. I made this Starfield map. I found a moon that's going to represent Sandpoint. There's some heavenly debris. There's some space debris that you're going to have to possibly navigate through. In the far right corner, I cut out Slum Station to represent Magnimar.
You might need to move your mic closer. We're getting a little bit of
Yeah.
cutting in and out.
Weird. I have it like literally touching.
I figured it was just me. Yeah, but it's kind of bad.
Weird. I don't know. Something's got to be going on with maybe my cord.
I don't know, man. I'm surprisingly bad with audio technology.
It's
must
a
have
whole
got-
subset too.
Yeah.
Really?
No, I mean, we
Oh,
can... yeah, I can hear you now.
I guess maybe don't move my head when I talk and aim directly at the mic.
That's good.
That
Well-
sounds really good.
Yeah, it's probably directional.
Alright. Well, yeah, it's just weird because none of you have said anything bad about it before, and I had it a foot away from me before.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
All right. So, like I was saying, I added this in. The published material didn't say anything about there being any conflict between Sandpoint itself and Magnimar, the city. But I felt that it made it a little bit more sci-fi. We got to have starship combat. There's got to be at least one, and I feel like there's probably going to be more down the line.
All right. Well, let's take a ride on the Heartbreaker then.
Woo!
So once again, your goal is to get to Magnimar Station, which is in the upper right corner of the map.
Mhm.
It's represented by a cutout image of Absalom Station. You've got some debris that you might have to navigate through.
So I feel like when Jacinto enters the ship and whatnot, he feels like a bit of a weird, like mystical energy coming from the gunner station actually, and he goes over to it, and sure enough, he's like, "Oh, that's weird. Lahan, your dad had a shadow beam projector set up on this ship."
Yeah, he bought it off some traveling merchant years ago. He thought it was really cool.
Huh. I think I could use this. It's like magic, actually. Mechanically speaking, shadow beam projectors are one of the nice mystical weapons that allow mystics, or anybody with mysticism ranks, I should say, to fire a gunnery check with their mystic ranks plus wisdom modifier, as opposed to the usual BAB plus dex or piloting ranks plus dex. Yeah, so
It is pretty
Cinto
sweet.
is pretty good at firing this weapon.
Ava kind of follows you all on, slinkily, but she kind of like loses herself for a second when she notices the captain's chair, which you feel free to totally correct me here if I'm wrong, but it looks like it's covered in black leather. Looks pretty neat, and Ava's just gonna walk right up and sit in the captain's chair.
It's got red underlighting.
Ooh, perfect. That matches Ava's aesthetic perfectly.
So she walks up as a slinky to the
No,
captain's chair.
She was kind of like trailing behind for a bit, but then when she saw that chair, she just kind of was like, "Ooh, that's where I sit."
Well, if you get a captain, I don't know what I want to do.
Mohan goes to the pilot's station and gets in and starts plugging wires into her head.
Oh, well.
I don't do ranged
So
or any of the nerd
Finn,
stuff.
a thing that Finn could do is called the Chief Mate, or you also have ranks in mysticism. Yes.
Intimidate. Wait, I thought that
I've got mad intimidate and good diplomacy.
Finn was
but-
going to be captain to use intimidate.
Ava wants to be captain.
You can totally kick Ava out of the chair.
Yeah, you can kick Ava out of the chair. Make Ava be chief mate.
Can Ava do anything
Ava
else?
walks
I
up
don't.
and is like, yes, and sits down, and Finn's like, and just kind of pushes.
I have a high intimidate, but I also have a higher acrobatics, which I think is what you use for chief mate, right?
No, it's athletics.
It's
I
the
think.
same as my intimidate, so I.
No, I think you can use. Yeah.
My intimidate and my athletics are actually tied. They're both 12.
Yeah, you'd be better off as a captain then. I'll Can I use stealth as a start?
No.
Surprisingly, no.
Right. This is something I pulled out of a society scenario, which I think.
Oh, it's acrobatics or athletics.
If you're
Leif.
sharing a hex with any of those asteroids or debris, you can do what this says.
I will read it out loud for our podcasters. DC 15 piloting check to traverse the asteroid field around Sandpoint's moon. The pilot is not alone in this endeavor, however. The captain can attempt a DC 10 piloting check or a DC 17 diplomacy or intimidate check to add a +2 bonus to the pilot's check. Additionally, science officers can each attempt a DC 15 computers check to add an additional +2 bonus to the pilot's check. If the pilot's check fails, the Heartbreaker takes 3d4 damage to a random facing. We get the use cover action. You can perform the evade stunt at DC 10 plus 2 times the ship's tier, which would be DC 22, since we are tier 6 here, to add an additional +1 to your AC and TL and increase the DC of your opponent's science officer scan attempts. So use cover is a boosted version of the evade stunt, I imagine, when we are in the asteroid field specifically.
Nice.
You have to be in a hex immediately adjacent to or in a hex that has an asteroid in it.
Got it.
Okay.
Cool.
So after Ava
Awesome.
sits down in the chair, Finn's gonna come up behind her. Gonna clear my throat. I was actually planning on taking that one. Why don't you go sit over there?
She looks up at you and just kind of sizes you up for a second, and then kind of huffs through her nose and goes over to the corner. Somehow manages to find a shadow on this very well.
You find a shadow, and coincidentally, it's like the smallest, most awkward station for you to sit at. It's not comfortable at all. You weren't there to personalize a station for yourself when they did have work done to it, so it was like that was the afterthought station.
Yeah, we did all
All right.
talk about worlds while you weren't around.
We were planning on not having Ava for a starship combat. It was really, really important that we be able to do it with just the three of us.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, who do you picture being the captain? The Solarian or the soldier?
Yeah.
Soldier.
Ava's perfect for chief mate. She's got good acrobatics,
Yeah.
which is a thing you can use. So
Excellent. All right. So, Jacinto straps Artania. Nope, Artania doesn't need to be strapped in. He's a big boy. Jacinto
He can
gets a
stand on
space
the
for
ceiling.
Artania. Yeah, he can cling to the ceiling. So he'll get set, strap himself into a seat, and he'll say, "All right. I'm ready for takeoff."
all right, we're all programmed in for Magnimar Station.
So, with this new upgrade, which I know you got for the ship, like, how does Lahan sort of get integrated with the ship? Or are you
I
not
told you
doing
she's
that
like
right now?
plugging wires into her head.
Okay, I just straight up missed that. I apologize. All right, so yeah, you get in, you fire up the ship, it hums to life, and it's got far too much bass to it. There's an audible like rumble, like your dad like intentionally made the heartbreaker sound and feel powerful, and it is powerful, but it sounds and feels more powerful than it actually is. Uh, just style. Um, and you pull it out of the bay, and you're getting ready to sort of take off. And as you pull it out, uh, some like a bunch of the town, a bunch of the people that you've made friends with, have sort of they got wind of this a little bit, and they've come out and they're kind of out there, just kind of waving at you, seeing you off. You see your dad standing there with your brothers. The twins are probably jumping up and down and waving. Your dad looks stoic.
Oh, Bethana.
Berthana, yeah, probably waving at you, probably pretty dramatically. Not quite jumping up and down, but definite. And just a number of other people. Of Naffer Vosk, the gentleman who you saved, who was stuck under a bookcase in his home for a number of days. Father Xantis, just a number of people that you've talked to. The sheriff, the mayor, just a bunch of people. The owner of the Goblin Squash Stables came to a sort of stoically nod in the direction of the Heartbreaker, mostly at Ava, because they like to drink quietly and broodingly together. And you rocket up and out of the atmosphere, and you get like one full turn of movement before your sensors pick up anything. So move yourself towards Magnimar Station. The Absalom token, the representation of Magnimar.
Well, goodness gracious, this map is huge. These
Upper
sides don't correspond with the way the ship. This token is not from our sheet.
We've got.
We don't have access. This token is not from our sheet. We don't have access to it.
Weird. It's definitely tied to the sheet.
I will pull out a new one then.
I apologize. Let me
just delete the old one. Sometimes
Now
if the
there's two
GM
of
pulls it
them.
out, it doesn't work for the players.
Yeah.
It is
okay.
a known bug.
There you
But
go.
to their point, the front of the ship seems to be on one of the side facings.
The port or the starboard, depending on what these colors mean.
I put the image that way just because visually I thought it looked the best. Green is starboard, red is port, and as a consequence, the stern is the white, which is now oriented to the bottom with red on the left. So you are facing the atmosphere right now.
No.
Okay, so this way is forward.
White is
The top of the ship,
Is
the
forward.
back of the ship, the spine of the ship, that would be the bow, according to the color code that I have.
Okay.
The belly of the ship.
okay.
It's just
Nick,
the way the
can we
image
get
works out. It's the way I had it set up in Photoshop. The up down.
I've got to give you my one that's labeled with words. It is.
That's totally
you never have to
Yeah,
explain it because it's labeled with words.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, this will do.
The stream can't see the
yes.
token because it's so small.
It is very small. I showed the whole map instead. There we go. So divert power to engines, the minor crew action, and then we go 13 hexes towards this asteroid field.
God, you guys are so fast.
Why is this in feet? This is not helpful.
Not 13 hexes.
No, I thought I changed that.
13 hexes.
Our speed is 11 hexes,
But
actually.
if I divert power to engines, then we get +2.
Oh, I see. I'm sorry for actually you. I do apologize.
So
It
rude,
should
Tom.
now be in hexes
Nice.
for
Good.
for your edification.
Much appreciated.
And-
Much better.
And you get that far, and if you can look here, this pops up on your sensors. And I'm going to Shift Z it.
Oh, I didn't see where here was. Ah,
There's an owl behind an asteroid.
Your sensors
it's
go off. Your sensors go off, and you detect something exiting the drift. And this pops through the tear in reality. And this thing exists because either Lapis, Nick, or Liz, and I feel like it's Liz, made some mention of a galaxy unicorn owl, and I thought that would just be a fun monster.
It was not me.
it's an owlicorn.
Would
Dear
someone
listener,
like
this
to
is a
describe
celestial-looking owl with
Question.
a horn, like a unicorn popping out of its forehead.
Since this is an owlicorn and not another ship, does that mean we cannot take actions that require comms?
You can't talk to it.
Okay. Which is
that
fine.
does negate the captain's role.
No, I've actually got stuff I can do in the ship. I can demand of the players. I can encourage my players.
Yeah. So yeah, you wouldn't really be able to taunt it unless you maybe. We could say that you could broadcast and like just annoying frequencies at it, and because it's a weird starship equivalent creature, you might be able to disturb it with those frequencies, but you're not really saying anything in specific to it.
It doesn't say on the cheat sheet, but is taunt also dependent on sharing a language with the enemy? I feel like it should be.
Yeah,
I think it is.
it should be.
So yeah, so you'd be able to encourage it to demand, not really taunt. Sorry, I just wanted to do a cool base creature.
Oh no, I dig it. I love it. It does not bother me at all. I just wanted to clarify before we got into it, you know?
Okay, so that's what pops up on your sensors. I'm going to orient it correctly and not just. And it
Does
comes
it-
out.
Sorry, go on.
No, I was just gonna say it comes out from behind this body of the space debris, and there's that Terran reality, and you see the sort of prismatic, predominantly purple pink of the drift through that briefly, and it sort of takes an aggressive posture.
Jacinto calls out, "What the pronk is that?"
I don't know. What is it? Let's see.
Can who moves first?
The engineering phase is
initiative.
before that.
We go engineering, right?
Engineering phase is
Engineering,
first.
then
Helm gunnery. Yep, thank you.
Yeah.
I always get so hung up on the role piloting.
That's okay.
But we don't have an engineer at the moment. I'm not going to use my minor correction engineer this time. I'm going to use my minor correction scan it instead. So yes, we can roll piloting.
Okay, so roll piloting.
And I do. It's not going to figure it in. I have a +1. Oh, should I use the computers, Tom?
Yeah, definitely.
+1 from my from the whatchamacallit, the consciousness uplink drive, because I have a accelerated data jack. No, it's gunnery and nope, it doesn't give me a +1 to initiative. I'm sorry. We're gonna go first.
But this ship probably has a piloting modifier, and I should know that.
I think the sheet would include it if you put it on the sheet.
I didn't, but it's a +1. You have a +1 to all piloting checks.
Ah, so we tie.
Can I can't do anything to the pilot because the pilot goes before the captain?
No, you get to go in whatever phase you want. But you should declare before I roll if you're going to encourage.
Okay,
me.
well, I'll do it somewhere else then. I just wanted to know because I was curious what the order was because up on the PC page, like, it's got everything all mushed together, so I didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so there's phase 1, which is engineering, and then the roles that can act are listed to the right. So it's captain, chief mate, engineer, magic officer.
Okay.
Phase 2 is helm. The captain, the pilot, the chief mate, and the science officer can act.
Okay.
And then phase 3, gunnery. So the captain and the gunner can act.
Okay. Yeah, you
well,
lost me because you went straight to piloting check.
Oh,
Yes, sorry.
Tom, what's the range
And-
on our scanners?
Oh, we got cut rate scanners, my friend. Your dad was not interested in having good scanners on his cruiser.
Oh no.
And a lot of the
Are they
if you-
short
if you
range?
act on one phase, that precludes you from acting on another phase, if I'm remembering correctly, Tom.
Yeah. Get one action.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Does that
mine-
include minor crew actions?
I don't think so. I think
Okay.
because that's how a fighter pilot works. Is someone can take a main action and then they can also do a minor.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
What's the range on those sensors?
Looking it up.
They're not on our sheet.
Cut rate sensors. Give me
Short range?
Short range, and you have a -2 modifier to the computer's checks.
Oh, all right. Well, I'm gonna take evasive actions.
Okay.
Since I have to get closer, I'm gonna use the computer. It's at 27. Again. Oh wait, we tied. Am I first or are they first?
You guys tied then?
Yeah, because the ship does give me a +1. It's just
Okay.
not in the
Do we
sheet.
just want to? Do we want to roll again?
Typically, it's whoever has more ranks in piloting gets to go second.
Okay.
I have 6.
Yeah, the way they do this is like you get a bonus based on the tier of the ship. It doesn't actually list ranks.
It should. It
It
should also
should.
say.
Yeah, it's in the stat
parentheses,
block.
6 ranks, 5 ranks.
Okay.
Lapses
I think I just gave it maximum because it was a tier ship, tier 6. So I was like, hey, it should probably have 6 ranks because it was tier times tier times 1.5 as I believe the bonus that it gets because it's like really good at piloting because it's a flying creature. So it can move first if you'd rather. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I can go first. I would much
Alright,
prefer to
so-
go second.
It can do piloting. It can do engineering. It's got a number of actions that it can take, and what it does do is your sensors, as far away as they are and as cut rate as they are, detect some sort of weird distortion, and it sort of goes like you're picking up a little bit of a visual, and it looks somewhat incorporeal. And what this is going to do is, if you are to attack it, you must reroll your gunnery check and take the lower result because it has what is called a quantum defender. If I'm remembering correctly, I just called it quantum state.
Okay.
Is that activation DC right, Jet? I don't mean to pick at what's behind the curtain, but this thing has a really high bonus, and that seems like a really low DC to match
I
it.
know. I thought it was going to be higher too. I can double check it. I have no problem double checking it. Starfinder.
I mean, our level 1 stuff, like divert on our ship, is still a DC 19.
Is it?
Yeah.
So can somebody warn me right before the gunner acts? Because I want to
10
do
plus.
stuff to the gunner with my actions.
Yeah, it's DC
I
10
warn
plus
you.
1.5
Okay.
starships. 10 plus 1.5 the starship's tier, and it's a tier 6.
Okay. Yeah. That's.
That tracks.
Yeah.
Does it have anything
Well,
else
It's just
in
always
its-
going to be in a quantum state then.
Maybe. Also, you don't know the rest of its build. You guys might just smash this thing.
Is it gonna move?
Sorry, yes. Distracted by things. Where is its speed? Is not incredibly high. It's gonna rotate. I could have gone higher than that, but it's coming at you. It swooped wide around some of this debris. And it was I don't have it doing anything complicated this turn because I haven't done Starship Combat in a while. I'm doing all the roll.
You don't have to tell us what the other starship is doing.
While you're doing this, would you like to be able to turn better?
Holy heck, Pepper.
I don't know.
Or do
Only
you want to be able to better scan now?
I'm going to take us out for just 1 second so that Lapis can disconnect and reconnect and fix that eternally spinning Discord dots. We'll be right back, folks.
All right, we're back. Lapis is going no camera, but they're still here.
Yep, my camera's being a jerk. Sorry, y'all.
Yeah, that was
We've had
weird.
worse. So that quantum state thing that happened on the helm phase, the pilot action happened. I've moved. I believe it's your turn to move. And Ava might be doing something, I believe.
Oh yes.
Only when Lahan requires it, though. So just let me know right before.
Yeah, we're gonna move and then we're gonna scan. So I will take evasive actions, like I said. That 27 is more than enough to give us +2 to our AC. And we need to be within 5. Yeah. So I could just like scoot us one closer, or I could try and get us. Let's get up next to this asteroid so we can use the cover thing. What do you guys think? I can make
Sounds
that
like a good plan.
I can make that piloting check to get us around rocks. Super easy.
And then it will be super hard to hit.
Do it to it.
Are we going to be able to hit it well still if we hide behind that? Or is it going to have cover too?
No, because they're not adjacent.
Okay, cool.
So we'll be facing there. And then with my minor action, we'll do... Oh, let's just put Lahan in the science officer spot too. Lahan's name is in all of the spots on our ship sheet.
Ava's been
Why didn't it do it?
examining these budget cut rate sensors in Jess.
Should I use the computer again?
Yes.
Y'all ready for this?
Absolutely.
34! And you get it treated as 5 higher, so just give us the sheet.
Yeah.
That's natural.
All right, so I believe that's what, all the weaponry and everything? If I remember
Oh, I didn't let Ava
correctly.
roll, but Leif said
No,
that they were going to do it.
Ava was
Is it-
trying to what was this? Not maintenance panel access. I scrolled away from it. Fool.
Oh, no.
Realignment of the sensors, but they're just so
They're so cheap.
shoddy that when she tried to when she ripped open the access panel and started yanking on it, it actually broke a piece out.
Oh
It's just
no.
kinda and put it back in right as you're doing your scan. Natural toot, and you only incur bad things if you
Natural toot.
fail
Well,
by 10 or more. It's
the,
physically impossible for you to fail by 10 or more.
Oh, that's good.
The scan DC on our sheet says 18, so I think
so
I think we.
3? I think it's what, 3 pieces of information? 5, right?
29, 24, 19, the first 3 things, which are not on this sheet. Oh, they are. They're just in basic information, defenses, and weapons. Or the first
Yep,
weapon.
Okay. So the living crew complement, it's a giant space owl. It is the equivalent. It's a medium-sized. It's the equivalent to a medium-sized explorer. As far as that goes, it's got average maneuverability, speed of 8. You could run rings around this thing probably, but you don't know how far it'll chase you. So that's the basic information. Defenses. It's got a AC 23, a target lock of 21. Its current hull points 65.
Dang.
And it's what's up?
Oh, just saying, dang. That's a lot of hull points.
It's shield. It's got deflectors, 8 DR effectively. And I'm going to need you to help me with deflectors. I apologize, Tom.
I got you.
And its core PCU value is 150. And then weapons, it's got talents.
We only get the first one because we only got
Okay.
3 pieces
Okay.
of information.
Well, I already said talons. It's got talons.
In which arc?
Big old talons.
In which arc?
In which arc?
Forward arc.
And the damage it deals.
The damage it deals is 46. Do you know its special qualities?
It says information about one weapon, including its firing arc and the damage it deals, starting with the weapon that uses the most PCU.
The most PCU would be not.
Well,
bad.
you already gave us that one, so
Yep,
Yeah,
sorry.
don't worry about it.
Cool.
that is it for the helm phase. That is pilot and science officer, and our chief mate.
Cool.
Well, I
That's
guess that
helm
leaves the
phase.
captain and the gunner.
Breaking stuff like
All right. So, is Captain and Gunner all that's left?
Yeah.
Yep,
Now we go
gunnery
into the
phase.
gunnery
Are we
phase.
on to
All right. Before you make your thing, I want to make a demand of you.
Oh gosh.
So, I'm going to use my Intimidate. Because I'm a jerk captain.
Oh my gosh, you are.
Tiny Intimidate. Jacinto, use that magical gun. Just shoot it, otherwise it's going to slash us out of the sky.
All right, calm down. I'm doing
Shoot
it.
it now!
I'm shooting.
You get a +4, I think.
+4 bonus to that, which is awesome, and I'm gonna need it because I have to roll twice and take the worst because if it's quantum state.
Yeah, I figured
however,
you could use it the most.
It's like a gray as a spaceship.
Lahan angled the ship so that the nose of the ship in the image is facing them in the forward arc, but I need their forward arc. Could Lahan have moved us in such a way
Oh, do
where
you
the
only
point
have-
was facing them?
Oh.
We only have
What?
we only have a gun on the forward arc.
Oh, I didn't. Sorry, Jed. Can we go
I did
back?
mention that.
That's fine. You can change that. I know you have so much movement.
Yeah, and Lahan would know that too. She built the ship.
Yeah. I'll just loop the rest of the way around this.
Yeah, you can come
Here,
around and be
does
like
that still
right
count as
here.
adjacent?
You're close, and yep, that's your forward arc right there. You're fine.
So we
Okay.
zoom and we
All
loop.
right.
We loop around. I think we have just about enough. We might have to be like one more back, but I think we could
Still
get there.
within 5 hexes and still in the forward arc. You're totally fine.
Cool.
Thank you. All right, so Jacinto sort of channels his mystical powers. Here's a far off symphony. We're gonna call it the Allegro section from the New World Symphony because I've been sharing that with my students a lot this week, and it's very very primal and warlike and sounds. It's just so pronking good. I love the New World Symphony. And so he hears that, and then he fires. He has to re-roll though anyway and take the worst.
And
not
add
that
4
it's
to
gonna
it.
matter.
Someone
Plus
redeemed
add
a
4
reroll
to it.
for you.
It's not gonna matter because I got a 1 and a 3. A 1
You have a reroll.
and a 3.
If you use a reroll on a
I-
roll twice and take the worst, do you do the whole thing again?
I would say do the whole
I would
thing.
say yes.
That's how I would do it. Is do the whole thing because you're re-rolling that action.
I don't know if
And
it's
it's-
worth it.
I don't know if it's worth it.
But
I don't know. That's very nice of you, but I don't think I would rule it that way. But who am I to question the GM? I'm sorry. However, I still don't think it's worth it because I have to roll twice and take the worst. So I'm going to pass my turn. The extra action thing, Lapis, would be cool, but
It's
I
just
also
future
can't
reference,
fire.
not for this round.
Yeah. The same gun can't be fired twice in the same turn anyway, right?
Yeah,
That's
I was
right. That's a thing.
mainly posting it for Lahan because we were wondering about Nick getting more actions. I wanted her to be able to read the.
yeah, no, if you do that, I can
Perfect.
I can use my 2 actions in her roll this round. So it would have to be. So you couldn't let me engineer and pilot and
Okay.
computer off. Yeah.
Okay, so not super useful.
But you could
not
let me
what
do-
we're happy right now.
Yeah, but like if we need to patch something, that's really good because then you could let me take 2 engineering actions. I could patch and still divert.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you're in the starboard arc of my Void Hunter, as Ninja coined the name, and one of the flight feathers on this Void Hunter glows with vibrant purple light and launches off of the wing to strike out at your forward arc.
A 22 will miss.
Yeah.
Oof.
Ah!
Ah,
Also, you gave us asteroids. things that I could get extra cover behind with evade actions, so, that's on you.
I know, it's on me. I didn't plan
We're
on
up to
murdering y'all. I just went all
26
Starship Combat.
AC on this.
Oh, good.
guy.
Yeah. Now,
That's the
part
gun-
of
that's
that
the gunny
AC is
phase. We're
coming
back-
from our. Sorry. I just wanted to explain about deflector shields because our AC is really high. Part of it is because our deflector shields give us a bonus to our AC, which is a
Nice.
slight benefit over shields. However, shields are still way safer because there's way more of them than deflector shields, and you're not taking damage every hit, unlike you are with deflector shields, which is going to be interesting if we
We'll
get
see.
hit.
We'll see how it works. We'll see what's gonna
Yeah,
happen.
we'll see. We'll see. Luckily,
Han is
we're
in a
pretty
lot more
evasive,
danger
and
than
we have an
Iris is.
asteroid field.
Yeah, you do.
Yes.
But that's the end of the gunnery phase, so we're back to phase 1, engineering. the captain, the
Yes.
chief mate, The engineer
In
and the magic officer can go.
this engineering phase, do we want to know more about guns? Do we want to scan it again?
Yeah, we should probably know more about it.
No more weapons? Okay. Nothing in the engineering phase.
Nothing for the. Okay. Let us do a
Post piloting check for helm phase initiative.
and I get an engineering check. I'm going to divert power and increase my speed. You all are so fast. Y'all are so fast. Oh, critical hit.
I want to know how this owl is diverting power.
Yeah.
Got internal energy.
Yeah.
It's focusing really hard on going fast.
Focus. Its horns glowing unnaturally bright.
I like
Its
it.
feathers are starting to glow. And now we'll do our piloting checks.
Okay.
I just wanted some more
That's
bird
up.
flavor, that's all.
30 for Lahan's piloting.
20. So I have to move
It
first.
is first. It's so
You
first.
can't give us a spicy unicorn owl and not give us flavor.
Yeah, no, I get that. I get that. So I have to move one. It's going to rotate. I'm just not quite doing that yet.
It's easy. Magic.
But getting descriptions of the magic is fun.
Agreed.
There we go. So what happens is the owl swoops out, and it sort of follows the trail that the Heartbreaker took around some of those asteroids and the debris, and swoops in, and it's coming in real tight, talons extended, and aiming for your starboard shield.
I thought it only had a speed of 8. It went 13.
I did the divert.
Diverted.
Yeah,
I
but divert only gives
diverted
you
for
2, which would make 10, and you
I
went
moved-
13.
Did I? I thought it counted to 10.
I could have sworn I saw
I was right
13.
here. I mean, I can redo it. You were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I was what, right here or right here? I'm sorry.
I think that's right. I think you were.
I can.
I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy.
I didn't pay close enough attention to the number.
That's 10 right there.
We can't see
According
it
to
till you
my-
drop it. Oh, okay.
That's 10.
Cool. Good stuff.
And I rotated it incorrectly because I'm a fool. There we go. Talons aimed at your starboard shield.
And then we'll go ahead and scan it again, as long as it's nice and close for us.
There we go. Ava shoves that part back in and realigns it to the proper setting instead of being halfway unplugged.
Nice. Oh, and I did almost forget. I do have a +2 to this from the consciousness uplink and my data jack. So how much does Ava get? Ava treats it as 5 higher, so it's a total of 27.
Whoa, 27.
And you treat it as
Indeed,
5 higher, so we've got a 27. We're going to start with 1, 22, just 2.
And you had the first weapon, so you get what, 2 more weapons?
Until unless you run out, and then we go on to other things.
Okay. So the next weapon, which should have been the one I told you about last time, it has what's referred to as a horn beam. Functionally, it is a heavy torpedo.
Rude.
And then it has what I'm referring to as feather missiles, which are light torpedoes.
Okay. Good to know. And then I'm going to skirt around some of these asteroids, getting as far away as we can. I'm gonna have to make a piloting check because I'm gonna go through some asteroids and hide behind another one all the way over here. Unless, actually, well, that's not a good idea. We want to give Jacinto a shot.
I'd appreciate it. I've only got a 10-foot line.
What's your
I want to
a
do
10-foot line?
demand on
So
their pilot.
we want to be a 10-foot line. Let's go. We're currently facing towards this rock, so we're gonna have to go through it. We have no other choice, but that's okay. We made this pilot. We have a turn of 1, right? Please,
Yes, a turn
God.
of 1. Yeah.
I also want to do a demand on your pilot check to give you a +4.
Do it.
I already rolled. I got a 29.
That clears it.
Lahan!
Do it.
Lahan, show us those piloting skills you're always bragging about. It's do or die!
Put us right there.
Intimidating.
Nice and in the forward arc all the way around. And this is again going through and taking cover and all that wonderful jazz. Use the computer. And it's a 15, which is enough for, which means we get through the rocks just fine. +4, it's 19, which is enough for the evade. Haha!
I knew I needed to demand at you.
You did. And that is it for the helm phase.
I can only
And that was on a natural
combat
toot.
for each person.
On a natural toot. On a toot
Sorry,
toot.
guys, but I'm out.
We
And,
still get through the rocks
Lapis,
at
I'm
evade.
sorry.
I can only demand once per combat per teammate, so I gotta spread them out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it'll keep yelling at Cinder.
And it went
Yeah.
first, so I passed through the
before the
gunnery
helm
phase.
And before the helm phase is over, I need to see if I do enter a quantum state.
Of
That's
course
weird.
you do, Jet. You have to roll a natural 1 to not enter quantum state.
That is as a crew action during the helm phase. Technically, they ended their turn.
Those 2 weapons I listed, the feather missiles, that was one of the porter, the starboard arc. The horn missile is the forward. Actually, the horn missile is on a turret because the owl's head rotates.
That
I love
tracks. That tracks.
Yeah. All right. Permission to try and blow it up, sir.
Blow it up. It's just you.
All right.
Blow it up.
Yes!
I'm gonna try and blow it up. Here comes me rolling twice. Taking the worst. Oh, that's a 25. Oh, that's such good damage. All right, so now hold on. That's a 16.
4 plus 12 is 16.
Plus, I'm taking the computer's bonus, obviously, because we have 2 plus 2s, which you should be taking as well, Lahan, I think. So that's 18. That's still not going to be enough. I'm going to re-roll that 4.
Okay.
I'm going to take Ghost's re-roll.
Do it.
That's so much damage. Oh no.
There we
You were
go.
better.
That's a 27 with the computer's bonus, taking the 13 on the die, for a total of 27 to hit its AC.
You know that hits. I don't like that.
Yeah. How about you take 30 points of damage as this shadowy beam just erupts from the front of the Heartbreaker, wreathed in fire. And then a
8 for my deflectors, correct?
-8 for your deflectors. But, funnily enough, and I swear I wasn't catfishing you here when I was like, hey, we should both use deflector shields. It turns out that the line weapon that I ended up finding after that lowers your deflector shield by an extra 1.
Nice.
Oh, so instead of
um,
dropping by 1 because I took hull point damage, it drops by 2?
It drops by 2 total, yes, because 1 for taking damage, and an extra for being hit with a line weapon, a line special property, starship weapon.
Nice
this
shooting,
is
Jacinto. Keep it
translatable.
up.
Shh.
Thank you.
Did we
Yes.
hit a critical threshold?
I think we should have.
I think we should have.
You
Critical
should have
threshold,
critical
13.
threshold. Sorry, I'm just looking at the sheet to see where the heck I wrote it down.
If it's 65 hull points, I think we also have 65 hull points.
It's 16 because they have, like, I gave them like a steel composite. So yes, it
Yeah, it's a
definitely
steel composite, Void Owl.
it's tough steel. I built it
It's a
like a
weird owl.
starship. So it's a critical threshold of 16. So you didn't do 2 critical thresholds. You didn't do 1. And because
Tom,
this
roll
is a
D100.
living thing, I need someone to roll a
yeah.
percentage because you can mess with its weapon system, its horn, its heart, or its brain.
11 is sensors.
Okay, so
But
you
it's a living system, though.
Yeah. I based this off of a creature in Alien Archive 2. You mess with its weapon array. Condition applies to all gunner actions.
Crack one of its
So-
talons.
Nice. Good.
Perfect.
Just have to hit it one more time, Jacinto. Maybe twice.
I'm trying to figure out how to make the sheet apply a critical effect to the weapons. It doesn't want to do things. I don't know what to make. I don't know what to do.
I
Minus
can't.
2, right?
-2, yeah, to firing with that one weapon.
Well, it specifically mentions that it affects all of my weapons.
Ooh.
For me, specifically. Applies to all
Ah.
gunner actions.
Well, hey, that's cool.
So the Void Owl is facing... the Void Hunter is facing away from you, but its head rotates on its neck 180 degrees, and it
Oh, no.
looks at you. And its horn flares this nearly white, sort of violet-tinged beam, and it fires at the Heartbreaker.
Okay.
I love this.
And it'll be a -2 on whatever this roll is. So a 20,
Nope.
which will miss you. Dang. Roll bad damage, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's my gunner
Alright.
phase.
Okay.
All right. Well, do we want to give it one more scan since we got weapons again last time?
If you so desire.
I'm feeling
Yeah,
pretty
I mean, we don't
good.
need much with engineering.
No, not yet. We haven't gotten hit. Yeah, we don't need to fix anything. So I suppose we might as well, because we also don't need to go very fast, because we sort of want to stay here and shoot it again, right?
Yeah.
So nothing in the engineering phase.
Alright. Nothing in engineering. And that's the helm phase. We get to the helm phase. First thing I'm going to do... actually, no. Engineering phase. I can try and engineer away that glitch to my weapons.
Yep.
Which is divert, hold it together. Hatch? Hatch. Because this is just glitching. It's not malfunctioning. Roll a 13. Plus 13. Nice.
That clears it.
So, yep, that clears it. It's no longer bamboozled. We will now go to the helm phase. Do we want to do a roll off?
30 for scanning happens
30.
during the helm phase, which happens in initiative order. That is a 29 or 30 for initiative with the +1 from the ship.
30 for initiative. Oh, I beat you this time.
You did. We have to go first. Well, first we'll scan it. Scan.
Oh, jeez.
What else is there to know about it?
Well, you now know that there are 2 feather missile systems because you found out about the one, you find out about the other.
Mm-hmm.
And then that is the science officer. What's after weapons? Expansion
What's-
base. I didn't really give it. The expansion base is the quantum defender. So its ability to go into that quantum state and make it much harder for the Sinto to hit. That is what would be its expansion bay.
Okay.
And then like the light, it has light deflector shields. You know.
You
Pulse.
didn't tell us the range on the missiles or how much damage they do or
Okay, sorry.
how many they have.
The feather missiles are light. They're long range. If you look, I fired one at you. Where's it at? I've got the speed right there for the feather missile. It's 16 hexes, long range, so 20 hexes maximum. There's a point DC listed there. The horn beam, 20 hexes for maximum range, speed of 16. The point DC is listed right there. The damage for the feather missiles is 2d8. The horn beam is 5d8, but it has a limited capacity to fire the horn beam. The feather missiles, it appears to be able to generate those infinitely.
Okay.
So, no matter where we go, we're gonna be in range of at least a couple nasty things.
Yeah, I mean, we can make a run for it. We'd get away.
For its horn, because
But-
that's its turret.
You can't run it out of energy for its horn. All right. Armed with shiny new knowledge, we're just gonna take it for another loop-de-loop here. We're gonna go around this asteroid field as best we can. And keep from being in front of it. Let's see if I want to finish out next to a... We have 11, yeah? Yeah. All right. Right there. Sort of around behind an asteroid, and I will make that piloting check again for the evade. Move through all the stuff. 29. I don't think I can fail this.
Come here.
The DC for... yeah. Yeah, it's pretty high. Alright, I pass my turn to them. The owl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The owl. It's going to... Can move its speed as normal. I just want to use this. Let's see. I can move. Rotate. Sorry, I'm trying to plan a move just to see if I can actually do what I want to do.
Oh, that's important.
Oh no! Undo. Go back.
Ah.
Dang it. Just far enough away that I can't do a flyby because I will end up inside of you.
Nobody wants that, I think.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
true.
think so, but I'm going to try and do that movement. But I'm going to do that movement. I'm sure. Let me make a roll first. Sorry, get mad at myself. I'm going to try do an evade. 22. Make it barely. And I've got 8 hexes of movement. It swoops in towards your starboard arc, and it's got its talons displayed and at the ready.
Okay. Feeling pretty good about our AC.
Are we going into Gunner now?
I believe we are.
Okay, I want to use encourage on Jacinto, which is a DC 15 diplomacy. I can probably make that no problem. I just gotta roll like a.
You use mysticism to attack, correct, Jacinto?
I
Oh,
do.
I don't
Ah.
encourage.
So,
No.
I was going to say, so Finn could have rolled mysticism to encourage you, couldn't they? Couldn't he? That's a DC 10.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Oh, really?
true.
It's not just diplomacy?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can also
You
roll the
you
same
use the same
skill.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, heck,
At
I
a
thought it was
DC
just
10.
diplomacy. Well, I already rolled. I don't wanna cheat the system.
Just so
Yeah,
you
it's fine.
know, in the
For next
future,
time.
Yeah,
if
next
you're
time.
encouraging, you can match the skill and the DC is significantly reduced.
Oh, okay.
It's basically 8 another. It is 8
Oh,
another,
okay.
actually. If you think
Yeah,
about
next
it.
time.
It's DC 10 plus 2. Yeah. Cool.
So I'll try to
anyway,
encourage
thank you.
Jacinto, that last shot was better than the other ones. Do that again. Terrible encouragement.
All right. So I'm going to shoot. Jet, I can't help but notice this thing didn't enter a quantum state this round, so I'm just going to shoot once.
I did, but maybe I didn't.
Well, that's a 22 to hit its AC. Would a +1 help me? Oh,
Yes.
I took a plus. Oh, okay. No, I'm not going to use it because I took the computers. Because that's what we do when we shoot guns. We take the computers bonuses.
Yes.
So that is 25 points of line damage. If it is, of
Yeah.
course. Oh, what am I saying? It's not in our front arc, guys.
It is too.
Because we went first. It is not.
Oh, that's right. We went first. I put it in our front arc, and then it
So we
moved
just shoot
out.
off into space.
Yeah.
Boom.
Oh.
So Jacinto shoots a great line of shadow into the inky blackness of space, and nobody is impressed.
Does it hit any rocks?
Towards
Go to rock.
Sandpoint.
Do we
No,
hit the
it's only a
asteroids?
10-foot line. It doesn't go anywhere. No, our front arc is this way.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
sad.
actually upside down.
So it responds to you, just discharging shadowy energy off into the void with its talon strikes.
I have good
Which
news
it
on this
misses
front.
horribly. Oh my gosh, I
Ah.
cannot hit you.
Haha.
Come on, Jet. I'm not even getting to show off the cool thing about where the deflector shields double the damage resistance
Sorry.
from melee attacks.
I have a +9 to hit. You just have a really high AC.
We do have a really high AC.
I don't know how that happened. I really have no idea.
Is this sarcasm?
It is indeed.
We're back to engineering.
Do we want to just GTFO away from this bird?
We could. I mean, we're very fast.
We're so
especially
fast.
If we boost our engines.
Why would you want to hurt such a majestic space bird?
It is a pretty majestic space bird. Heck it, I'm just gonna gun it. I'm
Everyone else has
gonna.
a pet. Ava's turn to adopt an animal.
I use my minor crew action to divert power to engines.
Okay.
I can roll it.
I'm gonna try to encourage you, because I mean. it
Don't
doesn't
do. I make it.
anything right.
I make it automatically.
Oh.
Do not encourage my divert action.
Well,
Okay.
my athletics still does something. You can use divert on 2 systems if you wish.
Great.
Well, I guess we will go twice as fast and or 2 faster and we'll divert power to weapons 2.
Okay.
I guess we're gonna shoot it again. Since now all the 1s turn into 2s.
Sure.
So other than
yeah.
that, yeah, we'll take one more shot before we gun it, I suppose.
Okay.
So we now have, yeah, and that's the end of the. That's all I got in the engineering phase.
Quantum state. I did not critically fail. In fact, I was one
That
off
is
from critical
during the
success.
home phase as a crew action. You can't do
I
it
got
yet.
excited. I didn't want to forget. I don't want to be shot. It hurt a lot.
It's a 28 for initiative.
We tied. I'll go first.
You are a kind and benevolent
Kinda
GM.
like- yeah, it kind of likes being where it is, honestly, even though you're going to move away from it.
Going first is hard. It's very tough.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, it kind of likes where it is, so it's, I guess, going to evade?
I mean,
Does
it
it
could
have
fly
to?
by us.
I could fly by. Yeah.
Flyby is not as good as any of us originally thought it was.
Oh yeah.
It does not let you make an
I'll
extra
try.
attack.
I'll try
Oh.
to fly by. I just managed to succeed at flying by, so...
So
I'll
it
do
doesn't
this.
provoke.
Yeah, I'll fly right through you, and... Just thematically, the claws make more sense, even though if they hit, they're not as effective.
Oh, you
as
don't
I
get a
like.
gunnery check now.
Oh, it happens later. It's just I can use whatever one I want.
You can just use whichever
Yeah.
arc you like. Yeah, that's the only benefit you get from flyby.
Thank you for the correction. So yeah, I just fly
Yeah.
right through you.
I only know this correction because it saddened me so much.
Yeah, 'cause
When I
thought
was
the fly,
corrected.
like, the way it always used to be, seemed to be done was you fly through, you do a shot, and then you get to the gunner phase. But
It was wishful thinking on the part of everyone who thought this was true.
whatever. Well, the owl flew through you.
All right,
So that was unpleasant.
that is indeed unpleasant. We
In its quantum state, it literally flew through you.
how hecking rude of it. We'll get up right next to this asteroid here, and I believe that's
I
the
thought we were running.
front. We were, but then we got extra power to guns, and so now we might as well use it,
All right.
right?
No,
Sure.
we don't need to use it.
You gave me an extra divert action.
That doesn't mean.
So yeah. Let me make
It
a
felt
piloting
purple when it
check
flew through you.
that I almost can't fail. To get that extra, it can't hit us. See, this is the one you should be helping with, really. It's not enough for evade, but it is enough to make it through the asteroid field. So,
That's okay. Our AC is still sitting pretty at a 23.
still pretty good. Past the gunnery phase.
Hi,
Gunnery.
I'm the gunnery phase.
I'm gonna try to encourage Jacinto again. I've got that +8 to diplomacy and +4 to mysticism. Well, I guess mysticism would be better.
The DC's only 10, yeah.
All right.
Jacinto, that gun was made for you. You literally cannot miss with it. I believe in you.
Thank you. Okay. Well, that was, and then Jacinto, distractedly fires the gun. Hiya! That's
Plus
only a
2.
19. And then a natural toot. Toot toot. It is actually a 23. And then a 5 lower than that is an 8. It's okay. That was garbo damage. But they would have turned
18.
into 2s instead of 1s.
They would have turned into 2s. So it would have been
18's
11.
gonna miss. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Was worth a shot. What do they got? What is that?
Hey, guess what? I think we should run from this silly
Yeah.
space owl.
I don't
Well,
hate that idea.
The owl gets
I
to
just
shoot
didn't
at
want to
you.
waste it. I didn't want to waste Ava's
the owl-
action.
The owl's not gonna hit us, Jet.
The owl wants to shoot at you. It did a fancy flyby, even though it doesn't matter, because what I want to do is
Shoots turret.
it's gonna fire its turret, and it's gonna do a fire at will, because it's hard enough for me to hit anyway. So why not fish for a crit?
I
So
suppose.
yeah, so it's gonna fire a feather missile because you're in its starboard arc, and then it's gonna fire its turret. The flyby was just for flavor, so fire at will. The first one's a 13 and a 14. So
No.
nope, does not hit, but just
Not at all.
so much owl bits flying at you.
Yeah, lots of owl bits just
So many owl bits. All right. In the engineering phase, I'm gonna divert again to give us speed. My minor crew action.
Yeah, let's just go, Jacinto says.
All
We
right.
should probably just get to Magnimar.
Yeah.
Bird will leave us alone.
I mean, or the big guns on Magnimar Station will shoot it down. I suppose opposed piloting checks.
Yeah.
32. They are first.
All right.
Oh man, this is gonna be great.
It moves there, and it's going to attempt to be evasive, I believe.
Okay.
Because, ouch, you guys hurt when you do hit.
But we just can't hit. Neither of us can hit each other right now.
Either of us can't. That's the deflector shield problem.
No, that's the quantum state problem. Don't you pin this on me.
So I successfully do an evade.
All
You can
right.
move and respond.
No.
We'll give you an extra turn this round.
It's you treat one turn as maneuverability one step better.
Oh, very nice, because I'm going to spend a resolve point to push this thing at full power for a total.
I encourage you.
Okay, for a total speed of 19.
Please.
I don't have
Come on.
actually. Yeah, I'm not
You
making.
can do this.
I'm not making a check.
Oh. God, fucking super good diplomacy. Punk and really good diplomacy on you.
I mean, I can use it. I'm gonna fly through some rocks. So I'll use it on that part of the piloting check, and I guess we could probably. I guess we can use Leif's action to also evade at the same time. Oh no. He reduced my turns, which is perfect. Because sorry, Leif. I'm just so excited about this thing that I have forgotten all other things in life. As I move 19, I turn around and move 19 hexes this way.
You're so far away.
I'm all far away. I do need a piloting check. You gave me a +4.
+2.
+2.
Yeah,
I only.
good.
Yep. Way blew it right out of the water. We are so hecking evasive. We moved through that field, or we moved that field so fast. We're not evasive, so we can't do both.
And I think it's safe to say you guys get away because it's normally like 4 hexes slower than you, or 3 hexes slower than you, and you could probably keep doing that super speed maneuver.
I
So
do
when you get to
have
where you are
6
now, you
resolve
would be
points.
docking.
And I think I only need to do it one more time. Hold on, let me see. Because it's going to try to catch up with us, right? And then we're going to do that again.
Yeah.
And we're going to go.
I'm pretty sure you're at the station.
Even without Ava's.
You're 15 hexes away.
Well, you can't move that way. But yeah. We would only need one more turn.
Nice.
Yeah. So it spins around and it starts chasing after you, and you just keep the afterburners. Like you break part of the throttle casing or something, and you shove it to 110%, or dip into the code and you override the governors or something, and you exceed maximum safe operating parameters for a brief period of time, and you just tear into Magnimar Station airspace, and they're like, "Whoa, pump your brakes and follow this flight path, please."
Laud skids sideways to like a normal docking speed.
Yeah, and I'm gonna change the map, and you're gonna get to actually see what Magnimar Station looks like.
Nice.
Neat.
Back home.
Very cool.
So I took Magnimar City, altered the colors, put it on a star field. It's an unusual station. The lighter area in the upper part of the map is actually elevated above the slightly darker area, and then just a second, Judy. And then there is what is referred to as the Irespan, and it's like this prismatic bridge going off into nothingness, and then it's broken at the end. No one knows what it was once for, because Magnimar Station was settled. It wasn't built to purpose. Like, no one knows where it came from exactly. Parts of it were cannibalized to further, like, retrofit it for habitation.
That's neat.
Cool.
Huh.
And we're right at time. So you guys are going to be successfully docking.
Yeah.
You've
Dude,
gotten
nice
away
work
from
on
the
the map.
Void Hunter. And you all are level 7.
Woo!
Woo!
Yeah,
Level
level 7.
I think we should take a second.
And you're like, oh, that was a little bit stressful. I mean, if you think about it cinematically, you were bobbing in and out of an active, moving asteroid field, shooting at this magical space owl that was firing laser beams and feathers at you and trying to rip your hole open with its talons. And you're like, oh, nothing awful's going to happen now. We can relax. And then Artania starts shaking on the floor next to Jacinto. And those two bulges on their back swell up, and they split open, and a pair of wings burst forth.
Artania? You have wings now?
And these wings look very much like the wings that were nailed to the wall in the Fortress of Thistletop. The Migo wings that Artania ate that started this metamorphosis.
Huh. Excellent. Well,
Neat.
And your spider just
Now-
keeps getting weirder and weirder.
okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
See, I told you he was fine.
Can
I don't
we
know,
even
I think
call
you're
that
kind of
thing a
hurting.
spider anymore?
He's not a thing. He's Artania.
Yeah, Artania, I think, is an entirely new species at this point, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. He's some sort of weird, He is weird, I'll give you that.
You should
But-
document all this for Space YouTube. Spitch?
Mm,
Space Twitch. Spitch. Coining it now.
Twitter.
Spitter.
No, I'll have to, who knows? Maybe, you know what? Somebody good with computers can help me document all this and submit it to the right places and all that.
Yeah, I'll help you set up your accounts,
Yeah.
Jacinto.
So
You have to do all the actual like
Special
studying though.
comments, okay.
I don't do well with things that are squishy.
I don't want anybody to study him either. He's Artania. He's my pet.
Nope, I think that combat went good. I know I slowed us down a little bit trying to figure out my rolls, but
I mean, that Starship combat happens so infrequently, and it's different than the standard system that we've had for 20 years. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Truth.
No, Starship Combat inevitably runs slow.
and although I do think we should all appreciate this lovely map that Jet edited for us.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it
Jet's
looks
been
great.
taking all the maps out of a Pathfinder book and editing them to be more sci-fi and spacey. And this map of Magnimar that he has made is just gorgeous. He has shifted the color and put it on a star field above and beyond.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It's great. If you're listening on the podcast, you might have to go to our YouTube feed and scroll through to the end of this episode to see this cool map.
You'll find it at about 2 hours in.
we're chatting post-session. I might just throw the map in the Discord channel.
Yeah, put it in the Discord channel. That'd be
a
cool.
good idea.
If you're not on our Discord channel, you can find the link below this stream. Come join us, hang out with us, talk to us. We always hang out for a little bit after stream and just talk about gaming and life and random stuff. Everyone is welcome to join us.
Is it this Sunday, Threefold Conspiracy, or following Sunday? I'm sorry.
This Sunday is Threefold Conspiracy. Our investigators are starting book 6 after they defeat this gray boss that they are currently locked in a life or death invisibility fight with. Tom's face says everything about what my
Tom's
players
face.
think about my invisible gray witch warper.
Oh God, I completely forgot. Ugh.
I wish I could.
So that'll be Sunday. Also, we're 2 weeks from Christmas Eve, Jet.
Oof.
Yes.
You know what that means.
Yes, we are. So probably going to be taking a little bit of a break for Christmas Eve, and then I believe you said New Year's Eve. is
Yeah, they're
on
always a week
Thursday?
apart. So if one is on a Thursday, the other is on a Thursday.
Yeah. So we'll not be going live those weeks, as I believe a majority of us will be otherwise occupied.
Yep.
So, Judy, turn that volume down, baby. Dramatic TV music pops up right there. But next week we should be going live, and we should be starting to investigate Magnimar Station.
Just in time for the holidays.
Yeah. Anyone have any questions, comments, shout-outs?
I think Jet cut out.
I was just saying, does anybody have any questions, comments, anything like that?
Nope.
Thank you as always, Jet.
Well, thank you for playing.
Always thank your GM.
Always.
Much like always thank your healer.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think it's time to say goodbye to everybody.
Goodbye to everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Let's hit the trail.